You're tuned in to The Keetria Show and listening to SOB, Style of Business, the podcast with your host, Keetria. We aim to highlight the ongoing trek of entrepreneurs and business owners from around the globe, featuring stories that recount their struggles, experiences, and inevitable road to success and self-fulfillment. Welcome to SOB.
This podcast is being brought to you by my inspiring new book titled Courage is a Muscle, Using Heart to Power Your Entrepreneurial Dreams. You can grab your copy today on Amazon.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Thanks so much for tuning in and checking out another wonderful episode of SOB, Style of Business, the podcast. This is your host, Keetria. And today we have a special edition interview with our beautiful guest, Papi Ojo, who is an extremely talented AfroBeats and R&B artist, and he's also a performer, choreographer, model, actor, just a wonderfully overall, he's laughing, a talented, creative. Well, hey, we calling it what it is. We're calling it what it is. But so excited to have him on the show. Most of you may be familiar with Papi from Beyonce's Black is King film and visual album. But, we have some exciting news today. Like, if you guys don't know, he's just dropped his debut EP, which is entitled Unexpected. And we were just talking about the hits. Hey, y'all got to check that EP out. Like, he got some fire on that EP. But but we're just excited to be talking to him about the album, the inspiration behind the things that he's doing, the whole AfroBeats movement, and just, being someone who has stepped up to fill the shoes of all of these aspiring artists and people who are following their dreams and making names for themselves within the industry. So without further ado, let's get this ball rolling. Papi Ojo, what's going on? How you doing? Thanks so much for being on the show.
What's going on? Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here. It's a blessing. It's an honor. And I just appreciate you guys.
Yeah, definitely. We appreciate you for taking the time out as well. And let's get started, with, let's start here. Let's start with just a quick background and introduction for those who may not be familiar, and we will, get into the EP and some of the inspiration and the cultural collaboration. And you got a lot of stuff going this, from the modeling and the acting. There's so many things that you have your hands in right now. So I'm trying to make it flow to where it makes sense. But hopefully we can cover it all. But we'll start with your background and we'll go from there.
No problem. I feel like everything I do go hand in hand. So this should just be a smooth conversation.
Yeah.
They're gonna do when that went to each other. So
right. Cool. So let's start with your background. Give us a little scoop of the inspiration behind, because you first started as a choreographer. You started with dance first. So tell us a little bit about how you have evolved from dance into this magical artist who's, creating, influencing and helping to create a whole movement.
All right. So for those who don't know, my name is Papi Ojo, PAPI_OJO. Papi is a girl, you know how it is. Like she said, I'm a dancer, choreographer, artist, model, actor, and all of the above. But just to give you guys a little background about who I am, I was born and raised in Lagos, Nigeria. And I came to the United States when I was 11. When it comes to music and dancing, that's always been part of what I've been doing. I've been part of the choir in my church in Nigeria, like the children choir and the children dance group, gospel dance group in Nigeria before I ever came to the United States. So that's something I've been doing. Plus, my mom's younger brother, my uncle, is also an artist. He does gospel music in Nigeria. So I was brought up in that environment, with dancing. And my older sister was the dance leader at the time. Even when we got to the United States and the church we were going to, the Apostolic Church in Brooklyn, my older sister was a dance coordinator. So dancing and music has been something that I've it gave birth to me, and so it's something I've always wanted to do, especially music, But growing up, I danced a lot. I used to go to wedding ceremonies, naming ceremonies, events here and there, and just dance, for fun. It's not even like I was getting paid to do, just to go to the dance and have a good time, And then when I got to the 11th grade, me and my older brother, may his soul rest in peace, Ado, and my other brother, Caleb Garnavoy, we decided to form a group called the AVO Boys. That's Africa's Very Own. So in 2015, we formed a group called Africa's Very Own, and that's when, like, you know, my major dancing and choreography really started. And at that time, I just put music to the side because, like, you know, I'm dancing and I'm part of a group now, and this is what we're doing. We're dancing at college shows, so we'll get invited to come to like colleges all over. We'll go to LIU, you know, all the CUNY schools, even some SUNY schools. You know, we used to dance, and at the time, we got a lot of popularity because there weren't a lot of Afrobeat dance group, male dance group that was dancing, and there was a lot of, like, you know, women dance group that do the dancing, but there weren't a lot of male dance group. And AVO Boys were like the first, or I won't say the first, but like at the time, we were like one of the only ones on the scene that was really pushing the culture forward. So we got a lot of our fans from that, just from school and from events here and there. And then that's how AVO Boys got, like, you know, that's how we got big in New York and in Brooklyn. And then we started teaching dance classes, you know, and then with the dance classes, we started, like, you know, putting out our dance videos out there. Like, now it's just not college shows. Now we're hosting dance classes, and we're teaching dance. We're putting our videos online on Instagram. And then, you know, with Instagram at the time, we started to go viral. Like, now our dance videos started to go viral, and then we started to have, like, more students coming to our classes. And that's how, like, you know, God blessed us with our first official industrial gig with the Grammys in 2018 with Rihanna, where we taught Rihanna the Guara Guara. You know, me and Ghana Boy, we taught Rihanna the Guara Guara, and that's how we just started to blow up, and here we are now.
Wow.
And then with the music, you know, in 2019, I lost my older brother, Sado, who was also a part of the AVO Boys in 2016, a year after AVO was formed. And in 2019, I kind of just, like, you know, like from 2016 all the way to 2018, even before the Grammys, you know, and then after the Grammys, I was on a soul searching. I was just soul searching because, like, you know, the incident that happened that led to the loss of my brother really put life in a different perspective for me. You know, like, you know, I almost lost my life too. Yeah. So, like, from 2016 up until 2018, 2019, you know, I was just doing a lot of soul searching and just, like, basically speaking to myself and speaking to God on what I really wanted to do. And in 2019, I was like, you know, like, I really do want to do music. It's something I've always wanted to do, something I've wanted to pursue as a career. And I can't be worried about what people think of me, regardless. People are going to say what they want to say, even if I do music or if I don't do music. And I was just like, you know, it's time for me to just spread my wings and just dive into what I really want to do. And then that's when I just started to do my music, and I put out my first track in 2019, February, called Awelewa, which means the most beautiful.
Wow. You know what? Like that, because I just admire the fact that you are a self-taught performer. You know what I mean? Because you're laughing, but you already know, like, the type of dedication it takes for you to just commit to doing that one or two things, whatever it is that you're focused on. You know, you got to give it your full attention. So I know that it took, you know, years for you to be able to reap the benefits of you just sticking to that craft, you know. So, man, oh wow, yeah, just kudos to you for that, and that's really impressive, Papi. Like, seriously, I know we're giggling about it, but, you know, you have to make the decision and you have to commit. And, you know, a lot of times we experience hardships that could make or break. You know, a lot of times when people go through things, it either makes or breaks you, and it seems like this really allowed you to find what it is that you wanted to do and to pursue it. And so here we are. You know, here we are today, and I want to talk about, before we get into unexpected, because I know a lot of people are probably waiting to hear, like, the goods behind the goodies behind that. But, like, tell us about your experience, you know, just being able to, you know, you start as this artist in your native country, and, you know, you're getting exposure, and then all of a sudden you get offered these gigs to come over here and to work with or just to collaborate, you know, with artists from the States is probably a better way to put it. And to me, like, that growth, like, for you to just go from, you know, being in your hometown and all of a sudden you're international and you're working with all of these major artists, like give me what type of state of mind is that for you? Like, what, you know, what was it unbelievable? Like, was it you know, tell us a little bit about how that unfolded for you, that experience.
So today, you know, like, I people never really get to understand the magnitude. I feel like creators, we really don't get to understand the magnitude in what we're doing until we get to sit down, and then when we're out of it, and then we're months later, months after the project is done or whatever the case may be, and then we just get to sit down and just like, wow, like that really happened.
Yeah.
For me, my mind is still always blown, like especially when I think about like the Grammys, for example. When me and Caleb, Ghana Boy, first did the Grammys, at the time I was super excited. Like, it's Rihanna,
Yeah,
but even I myself didn't understand the cultural shift that, like, I was involved in. Like for me, it's just like, oh wow, I'm teaching Rihanna the Guara Guara, and like, we're incorporating Afrobeats into this choreo. And it's a beautiful thing for us, regardless. But like, we didn't really understand the cultural shift that was going to happen after that. And it's like, it's honestly just mind blowing. Every time I think about it, I'm just like, wow, like glory be to God for selecting us to be the face of, like, one of the faces of the people that is pushing the culture forward, and like, and we're doing it in such a stylish way. And in such a way that's making our people proud, because it's not easy to make a whole nation proud, especially when it comes to like something that we take big in our country, like the dancing, the things that we do is something that is huge in Nigeria. So, to be one of the people representing it, you have to come proper, you have to come correct, and and it's a lot of pressure, but when you practice, and when you like do what you need to do to be prepared, whenever you get into these doors, or whenever you get into these rooms, or you get into the spaces, and the opportunities come your way, because you've done so much to prepare yourself, it's never, you don't fail.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, you don't fail. And like, for me, I just go there and do what I love. Like, I just go there and do what I love. I go there and do what I've been doing all my life. And I just stay true to who I am. And the results are always mind blowing. They always exceed my expectation, to be honest.
Wow. Yeah. No, that's incredible. And you're right. Like, you dedicate your time toward what it is you love to do, then things just start to fall into place. And I, even aside from what you're doing as a choreographer and a performer, you have this amazing voice, which, I was, and I was going back through like the EP, just kind of like trying to figure out, all right, the favorite, my favorite, or whatever the favorite track. And I want to talk about Unexpected, because you got some, it's some heat on there. It's some heat. And we'll talk, I already told you what my favorite track is, but tell us a little bit about the inspiration behind that whole project, and then, how that unfolded. And I know you have like a collaboration as well on that. So if you want to talk about that, we'll start there.
So Unexpected, how can I describe Unexpected? Unexpected happened unexpectedly, honestly. And that was the reason why, honestly, that was honestly the reason why I titled the EP Unexpected. At the time, I was going to title the EP A King Above Their Adversities.
Yeah.
But because I was going through a lot then, but a lot of unexpected things happened to me, unexpected battles, unexpected victories, and just a lot of like unexpected eye openers, Prior to the Unexpected EP, I had already written I had already recorded, like, produced, mixed and mastered, another EP, another project that was going to be what I was going to drop, and that was what I was going to like title A King Above the Adversities. Yeah. But the pandemic hit, when God works in miraculous ways. Like, he does things, in a way that, like, even you yourself can't fathom,
Yeah.
And obviously the pandemic, was a thing that affected each and every single one of us, financially, emotionally, like, physically. It was a draining moment, but also, like, within the pandemic, it also gave myself a time to really sit down and step back, because when I did Unexpected, I was still like on the high of Black and Screen, everything was okay. Like, I was traveling here and there, I never really got the time to sit down and reevaluate my project.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, I will step out of New York I'll go work. I'll do some dance job. Come back to New York, quickly head to the studio, record the song. In between that, just do this, do that. Just like it was just a lot of things going on. And then when the pandemic hit, it really gave me the opportunity to really sit down and look at my project and ask myself, is this the best I could do? Is this all I could give? Like, your first EP is not a small thing. This is you putting out a project for the world to hear you and and really I guess really decide how they feel about you as an artist. So that's something you have to take very, very, it's not something you take lightly. So I got the chance to just sit down and really listen to the old EP and just ask myself, is this the best you can do? And I told myself there's definitely more, especially now that I've gone through a lot more and I'm going through a lot more. There's things I want to say that I wasn't able to say in the first project. So I scratched that whole project and then I linked up with new producers and that's how Unexpected came about. Unexpected relationships, unexpected, just everything I just went through, and recorded Unexpected really happened to me in a way that I had no clue was going to happen. So it felt right to title my EP Unexpected. And even the link up with Lil Mama, the third track called Wonders, it was unexpected because my first time meeting Lil Mama, I was doing backup dancing for Davido. He had a show at the PlayStation Theater that year. I'm not thinking it was 2018. He had a show in the PlayStation, and they booked AVO boys to be the choreographers, official choreographers for the whole show. So imagine that was my first time meeting Lil Mama face to face. Like obviously I know Lil Mama from watching TV, watching them on America Best Friends Crew, Lip Gloss, all that. You feel me? Like, I've never really met her personally. I was always a huge fan. Because I used to watch a lot of American Best Friends Crew. When I first came to the United States, that was one of my favorite shows. So fast forward, I'm backstage and I see Lil Mama and I'm like, oh my God, Lil Mama, like I'm such a huge fan. We spoke and that was our first time connected. And ever since then, I didn't see Lil Mama anymore. We followed each other on Instagram. I like her stuff. Me being a fan and stuff like that, comment and stuff like that. And then she saw that I started getting into music and she reached out to me like, oh, I like this, I like that. We started, I guess, building a cordial relationship. And when it was time for me to record Unexpected, she reached out to me like, hey, how you doing? What's up? What's the vibe? How are we gonna get you? I was like, oh my God, you literally was
right.
on my mind. You were literally on my mind for this track. I have this track that I really want to get you on, and I see nobody else but you on this. And the fact that you wrote me is unexpected. I wasn't expecting you to write me. And then we linked up in the studio together and we recorded Wonders, and that's how. See, it's just a lot of things that was happening to me that I just didn't plan for, but it fell on my lap, and God is just good.
Yeah, no, definitely. God is good. Definitely. For real, always on that. And we just talked about, I told you that that track with Little Mama, Wonders. Little Mama, yeah, that track, that's my that's my favorite track. I like Angelina too. I like, If God and all the other ones, but that is my favorite track. And the production, you guys' vocals, that, the way that came together, that track is really a hot record. So kudos
Wonders
to you on that.
Dancing.
Wonders will have you losing your mind if you let it. But no, it's definitely a hot record. And I'm glad that you guys were able to connect and collaborate on that. It sounds good. It sounds magnificent. So you guys check that out.
Thank you.
On Unexpected. And speaking of creating that track with Lil Mama, I want to talk a little bit about your own creative process. When you sit down to record, or even before recording, but when you're writing songs, what sort of inspiration has to hit you? Do you get in some type of mood? Do you kind of set the scene? Tell us a little bit about your creative process.
So when it comes to me and writing my music, first I have to connect with when the producer sends me beats and stuff like that. I have to automatically connect with the beat. If I don't automatically connect with the beat, I'm not gonna say no to it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to sit down on it and really take on the elements to it. But the ones that I automatically connect to spiritually are the ones that I go for, because for me to hear something and spiritually connect with it, then there's a greater meaning to it. than just the words. So that's something that I always look at first. Like, how am I feeling spiritually? Am I spiritually in tune or like one with the beat? So that's one. And then after that, I obviously start to think about what am I trying to say? What is the story I'm trying to give? What are the emotions I'm getting from this beat? Where is this beat taking me? How can I use my vocals? How can I use my words to really explain to my fans and to the audience what I'm really trying to say? And then I just take my time with it. I literally take in every element of every beat that I write on. I take in every element, because they're like producers. Honestly, I don't know, man. The way their mind works
right.
is special. It's special because they will add different elements to a beat that even you yourself, if you don't pay attention to it, you're not gonna hear it. You're not gonna catch it. And those things, they matter to me. So when I really sit down with a beat and I'm hearing things that I know today I'll hear something. Tomorrow I'll hear that same thing, but hear a different element in it, and it's gonna strike a different emotion for me. And then I write about that. So that's honestly my process. I take my time with every beat. I'm not a freestyler. I'm not too. I don't know how to freestyle very well. I need to sit down. I need to sit down with a beat and and really understand what I'm trying to say. I think, and I also think that's the Virgo in me. The Virgo in me trying to just understand
right,
how I'm feeling and really trying to control the narrative of what I'm trying to say. So that's basically it. I sit down with it and I just write. I write, I erase, rewrite, cancel, go back to it, write again. That's my process.
Yeah, no, I love that. Yeah, because you actually, you have to think about what it is you're putting together. It has to have purpose and meaning, which is, to me, obviously that's a lot more. It takes effort, and that can be difficult when you want to, present something that's purposeful, versus just kind of throwing things out. So there's a lot of respect and admiration in that. Papi, I want to get into what your view is, as far as where you see cultural collaborations heading, within the near future, because right now there's this, AfroBeats movement, which is massive. There's a lot of
massive.
Yeah, right.
Massive.
So that's definitely something to be excited about. And for you specifically, being somebody who is contributing to that movement, but overall, maybe collaborations with more with artists from different countries, and just kind of introducing the cultural elements from one culture to the next, and not being so diversified. You know what I mean? What are your thoughts on possibilities and the potential for that, within the next, I don't know, 3 to 5 years? What do you see it looking like?
Man, I see it being the biggest it's ever been. Right now, everybody's enjoying Afrobeat in the States and globally, but I feel like this is just a scratch of the surface. We've not even gotten to the core of the beauty of what of the music we're creating, or the collaborations that we're doing. We've not even gone anywhere. People have not even seen anything yet. They just seen the surface of it. And I can't wait. Because for so long, Africans and people who aren't from the state or who aren't from here have been ridiculed and bullied, and we've had our share of being in the negative light for a very, very long time. And and I'm just glad that the world is starting to see the beauty over what the media or what TV, all this TV stations, the world is starting to see the beauty of what our culture is, rather than what they see on TV. People are starting to do their own research, understand why things happen the way it happens in Nigeria, understand why our Ghana is the way it is. People start to do their own research rather than just listening to whatever channel on TV and taking that as what it is, and it's such a beautiful thing that even now we're seeing the beauty of the collabs. We're seeing this kid collaborating with Justin Bieber. Those kind of things, they're not small feats. They're really, really huge for the culture, because who would have ever thought, seeing the biggest artist in Africa collabing with the biggest artists here in the States. You know, it's not something to just look and be like, oh yeah, I expected that to happen. No, that's not something that's expected to happen, because it wasn't something that was expected to happen 10 years ago, you know. So, but now I could confidently say in the next 5 years, I expect any upcoming artist, big or small artists, to go for their dreams and say, I want to work with Justin Bieber, or I want to work with Chris Brown, and be able to get there, because even they themselves see the beauty in our culture, and they can't deny that.
Exactly.
No one could deny that.
Yeah. No, you're certainly right about that. And that's one of the things that I love. And, you know, even like you were saying, we don't necessarily turn to the mainstream media or like TV to learn about a culture. And another thing that I've noticed is like even through like social media, especially like TikTok and platforms that have like the video, like even the food, like the food fusion, the collaborations, that, you know, we're being introduced to a lot of new food recipes and things like that I wasn't familiar with until, you know, you see these cultural infusions happening. So that's definitely another conversation like that, because I'll turn this into a food show in a second. But I just love where it's going, and I wanted to get your insight on that.
I'm a foodie too, so let's not. I'm a foodie. I love talking about food. So like once you get into food conversation, it's over.
Right. Look, I just found out, and don't laugh at me. And for the listeners too, like I'm just finding out. Guys, do not laugh. But I like the okra soup, like that. That's I'm you know, it's crazy because you know, once you like, I think Instagram or one of those platforms, like once you kind of click on a certain thing, then they kind of keep feeding you the similar, you know, posts like that. But yeah, I was clicking, I was like, man, there's so many different ways to make that. And I was actually trying to reach out to like, what is this? Like that, man, I got to try that. I definitely have to try that.
There's so much you could do with okra. I know my favorite thing. I'm going to say it in my native language. That's something my mom makes. Man, it's basically called the okra concussion, where like it's okra soup concussioned with all type of meat, fish.
Oh wow!
Everything in that okra soup, man. Like, and every time Jesus Christ, now you're making me hungry.
Right. Hey, look, we'll say that one for another conversation. But yeah, I'm just so excited in the direction. I'm excited for like the direction of where everything is going, and definitely you know, just proud that things are going in the manner that they are. You know, people are receptive and you know, it's moving forward. Like the industry is moving forward with all these wonderful collaborations. And before we get ready to wrap, someone like yourself who started out doing your dance and doing your singing at the house, you know, you at the house. Okay. And now you're in a position that you are now. Like, what words of encouragement would you offer to someone who is, you know, looking to move forward in whatever goals that they want to pursue? Like, what words could you offer them?
For anybody out there that's on the ground like we all are, my words of encouragement would be, man, be rooted to your own principles. Stay grounded, because in this industry, there's going to be a lot of things that come your way that's going to have you shaky. That is going to have you thinking otherwise, or thinking this or thinking that, man. Like, believe in yourself all through. Believe in your process, because, you know, man, there's a lot of people out here that are doing what you do, you know, but always have that belief that, like, there's a source that you have that nobody else has. And that's the reason why you are where you are. You understand? Like, and keep working. Don't be closed-minded to other ideas. Be open-minded, but be open-minded with a grain. When I say be open-minded, like, you know, decipher what you could take in and what not to take in. But don't be closed-minded and just like, oh, I'm stuck in my own ways and this is it. You know, there's many different ways of doing many different things. Be open-minded and be willing to learn. You know, be willing to be a student. Whenever you go into a different door, whenever you step into a different opportunity, you're a student. You know, like, even if they're bringing you in because they believe that you're an expert in whatever it is that they're bringing you in on, you know, you're still a student, because there's somebody else there that they brought in that's also an expert in whatever it is that they're an expert on. You know, be a student wherever it is, wherever you are, and also just learn, stay humble, and just grind.
Learn, stay humble, and just grind. All right. That's perfect. that's just been a mind-blowing conversation. I just love the enthusiasm and all the wonderful things that you're doing, Papi. Go ahead and let us know where we can grab Unexpected. And if anybody wants to connect and follow you online, please drop your social handles as well.
Yes. Your boy Papi Ojo. Papi is your girl.
Right.
You can follow me. You can follow me on Instagram and on Twitter at Papi_Ojo. That is PAPI_OJO. My handle is PAPI_OJO. And you could listen to Unexpected, stream it on all platforms, on Apple, Spotify, Tidal, SoundCloud, wherever streaming platform you have. Unexpected is live everywhere, and I'm happy. I'm excited to meet everybody. Excited to see my new fans, see who's tuning in, and man, let's get it going.
Right, let's get it going. Hey, Papi, I appreciate you being a wonderful guest, and we definitely got to have you back so we can get into this food cuisine. Let's talk about some food next time, so you can give me some recipes.
Some food next. Yes.
Right. All right. Well, we appreciate you joining us today, and you have a great rest of the day. And we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Have a good day. Okay. Bye, guys.
Thanks for hanging out with us here on SOB. We hope this episode has been resourceful. If you'd like to check out the latest articles or follow Keetria's website updates, just log on to Keetria.com or follow her on Twitter at KEETRIA.